piece harrowed. Melissa's just packing it again. I went to go check on Pierre because I installed that gearbox with the new pulley on it to make sure everything was going good. So far it's holding on. I put it on this morning and I didn't get a chance to record it, but that's okay. So right now I'm going to hook up the coil packer, which we put together the other day actually. So we got it all together. I'll get it hooked up to the 8770. I'll take it to the back, give it a try. It doesn't sound like we're going to be seeding till August now. It's a little bit too late in the spring to take a chance on seeding right now, so we're going to wait till August. August another good time. That, or we'll have to wait even later, but we're going to try to get it done for August for sure. Well, just got it rolling. Hydraulics work on it. It actually folds in pretty good. So that's nice. It's not too much wider than the machine when it's folded in. It's probably it's like 18 feet because the machine's 14 or 16 feet wide. At least it makes it easier to move it up and down the road to get to that back piece. Now we'll go give it a quick try, see what it does. If it does what we need it to do, awesome. If not, well, back to the auction it goes, I guess. Good morning. It's another beautiful morning on the farm. We had a really nice sunrise this morning. Just a quick update on the equipment that I had to fix the last couple days here. I had our forklift jeepers, had the generator, had burned out a regulator, so I took that back into town the other day. They rebuilt it, put a new regulator in it. Works good now. I got it running this morning, which is nice because this forklift moves a lot faster than the 333G. Although I do like the 333G for loading. It's a lot quieter and the hydraulics move a lot quicker. But as far as speed, this machine moves across the field a lot faster. Also, the bearings that we changed on the roller for the harvester, for the cutter head the other day, that, oh, they left a small piece in the harvester. If I can get it out. Anyway, what I was trying to say is you can see the thickness of the peat mat underneath for the root mat is the same thickness and consistency all the way across. We were having some issues with that, and obviously changing the bearings out on that roller made a huge difference. There must have been enough play in it that the roller would shift up and down and change the thickness slightly on the rolls of sod. So now that that's fixed, rolls of sod are coming up, nice consistent thickness, no problems, and the grass still looks really nice. I think we could use a second dose of fertilizer now. It's been about six or 7 weeks since I fertilized. And you can just see it's starting to lose just a slight bit of color, so we'll give it a bit of a boost, especially since we're not getting too much rain this year. And Yeah, so the next time it rains, then I at least want a little bit of fertilizer on the ground, so that just kicks off and we're right back up to a dark green again. Yesterday I tried out the coil packers. The coil packers do exactly what they're supposed to do, I guess. We were kind of hoping it would act a little bit as a harrow and fluff up the top, but it didn't do that. It made lines, which is pretty much what I expected of it. But you know what, for seeding, I think that would be really good, because you put the seed, it makes the lines probably about a quarter to half inch deep. So not too deep, but just enough so that if you get any moisture, it goes down into the bottom of the valley of the line it makes. But now we have a change of plans. It's a little bit too late in the season to seed at this point. So now we're going to wait until August to seed, so that we can get a little bit more rain and slightly cooler temperatures. Right now, going into July, it's probably going to get very hot and dry. So I don't want to risk putting seed in the ground right now, because it might not even germinate with no moisture in the ground. So I don't want to do that. We'll wait till August, mid-August. So this morning I'm going to try something different. I'm going to take the mulcher head on the skid steer, and I'm going to go over to where we pile all our scrap pieces of sod, and I'm going to try grinding them up. Alright, so we're going to give this a try. We got a bunch of scrap pieces here. So instead of letting this go to waste, we're going to try something different. I want to try to apply it as fertilizer, but that takes some time, so I have to break it down. So in order to break it down quicker, I'm going to use this. So we'll give it a try, see how it goes. Hopefully I don't plug it up too bad. And yeah, I think this should make some pretty good fertilizer, because it's already starting to break down. This stuff has no problem heating up on its own. So if you're familiar with composting, I believe it's 120. Don't quote me on this. If I find out, I'll put it in the link, or not the link. I'll put it somewhere on the screen here. It'll be about 120. I think it's 160 degrees. As soon as I start pushing into this pile, you'll see smoke and steam and stuff like that, and that's normal, because it's already started the composting process. So if we can save some money on fertilizer and do it more environmentally friendly, awesome. I don't want to keep pumping synthetic into the ground if I don't have to. All right, let's give this a try. Working really good, and it's turning it into a nice fine powder already. Like that, this was a roll of sod, so now we've got nice soil and grass mixed in, and if we get some wood chips mixed in there too, it'll help add nutrients. But this, it just busted it up nice into powder. So that I'm really happy with how this worked out. Hopefully we'll get some nice compost fertilizer out of this. because I don't know how long we've been stockpiling scrap pieces of sod from here. Like, it's broke down. I want to say probably about 3/4 of the way to the trees at the back of the opening there. I think it's all piled up. This stuff really stinks, so it's already starting to break down, which is a good sign. The only thing I am very wary of is because you've seen all the fine powder, dust, peat moss coming out the front of that thing. Well, my main concern is it gets sucked into the engine compartment, and that fine powder, when it builds up on exhaust manifolds, and with the heat from the exhaust manifold, she'll light up. But hey, that's what insurance is for. Have you guys ever used a mulcher head to grind up pieces of sod? Probably not. I've never heard or seen anybody do it. Of course, as far as I'm aware, I'm the only sod farmer on YouTube right now. I'm sure somebody else will catch on and be on here soon too. Alright, so finished up with the mulcher for now. Pretty much what I figured would happen happened. Plugged the rad with all the peat dust, and I'll probably have to check the air filter too. I'd imagine it's sucked in quite a bit. But what I'm going to do now is that I got the top layer mulched, is I'm going to take the 8770 and push up the pile a little bit more. The root rake will dig in and bring the bigger chunks up to the top, and that'll allow me to mulch it down some more. What I'm also thinking is, with that mulcher, is I'm going to take it, and any spots in the field where we left strips behind or stripes that are about 6 inches wide, we'll use that mulcher and get rid of them. That way we don't have any problems harvesting next go round. So we've never actually done this compost fertilizer setup before, so this is a bit of an experiment for us. We were just advised that it was an option we had to do instead of using synthetic fertilizer. So we thought, well, we've got money sitting there, and we don't have to keep using the synthetics, which are starting to cost an arm and a leg right now. I think you're upwards around, you're anywhere from, depending on what you get, $700 to $1,000 a ton, and when you have to buy 6 or 7 tons to cover the acres you need to, that adds up pretty quick. So if we got money sitting on the table there that we can just use, that's good. The only thing is it's not a quick turnaround. It takes some time for the material to break down. Now, last year, we found out about this last year, so this isn't the first time I've turned it over. Last year I turned it over with the 8770, but we didn't have a mulcher last year, so this is the first time we've been able to actually break down the huge chunks of organic matter, and now it should really accelerate the process. So depending on how well this works, I don't know, we might have something by the end of this season or the beginning of next season. Either way, we save some money in the end. okay. It left fairly big chunks on the field like this, so I think honestly it'd be better to do it when it's a little bit wet, so like right after a nice light rain. It got rid of it. It just left a little bit of a mess on the field, which is not a huge deal. When it rains, we could probably pack it into the field. We'll end up packing it in anyway. Probably the way it is when it's dry. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that one. Personally, I think it would probably be better on a wet day, just so there's not so much dust, because as you guys could see, it was just crazy how much dust was coming up. And I actually had the hydraulic oil temperature warning light came on, told me to stop, so I had to stop for a few minutes and let it cool down. But I think that's because it's starting to get hot and there's so much dust flying around. I probably sucked it into the rads and stuff. I'm gonna have to blow it out with air compressor. But other than that, it worked good. Today was kind of like experiment with the mulcher, see what you can do with it, see what you can't do with it, as far as other than mulching trees. So it seems to do a pretty good job. It got rid of the strip. Underneath all the mulch and crap it left behind, it's perfectly level with the ground after we've stripped all the sod off. We'll probably have to run the vacuum to see if we can get a bulk of that extra stuff off the field. And if it's little pieces here and there, it's not a big deal. It'll probably blow away in the wind. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to call the video quits here for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless.